ክቡራን ኢትዮጵያውያን እና የኢትዮጵያ ወዳጆች በቅድሚያም በዛሬው ዕለት ለዚህ ታላቅ የቢቂላ ሽልማትና የምስጋና በዓል ሁላችንንም ጠብቆ ላደረሰን ለኃያሉ ፈጣሪ አምላካችን እግዚአብሔርን እጅግ እናመሰግናለን። ይህ ታላቅ ሕዝብና ድንቅ እናት ሀገራችን ፈጣሪ ይጠብቅልን እንዲባርክልን ዘወትር እንጸልያለን። የተከበራችሁ የ2023 የቢቂላ አዋርድስ ተሸላሚዎች እማማ ኢትዮጵያ በእናንተ ድንቅ ልጇ ትደሰታለች። የበጎና ድንቅ ስራዎችን አርአያነት እና ልዩ ምልክት በመሆናችሁ እማማ ኢትዮጵያ ትኮራባቸዋለች። እማማ ኢትዮጵያ ብዙ ከተማዊ ፍሮችን ትፈልጋለች። እንደ አቶ ግርማ ዋቄና እንደ አቶ መስፍን ጣሰው ያሉ ገና ብዙ ባለራዕዮችን ኢትዮጵያ ትፈልጋለች። የኢትዮጵያ አየር መንገድ የዜጎች ሁሉ ክብርና ከአፍሪካም ሆነ በዓለም ደረጃ የብቃትና የጥራት ልዩ ተምሳሌት በመሆናችሁ ኢትዮጵያ ትኮራባቸዋለች። ዓለም ያደንቃቸዋል፣ እጅግ እናከብራቸዋለን።
The organizers, the volunteers, and all of you who made this night happen. I think there are more people here than there are in Adash tonight. I want to begin by honoring those achievers that Biqila has brought to us tonight. I want to extend a warm welcome to each and every one of you who have crossed borders, who've been on airplanes, buses, or trains to get here. When I was a minister of the Crown, I would say, welcome to Canada, because I had the authority to say so. I don't have the authority to say so, but I am going to say so. Welcome to Canada. I must tell you that the joy of seeing the women so lovely dressed out in the colors that are associated with Ethiopia. The delicious food that we were provided tonight all bring back fond memories of the times that I visited Ethiopia. I was there with Jean Chrétien, who was the Prime Minister at the time, and we did have such wonderful stay in Ethiopia. I can tell some stories about going to buy crosses and jewelry and whatnot, and I forgot, I had made a point that I was going to wear the earrings and the ring and the pendant that I bought, and somehow I forgot. But I do have fond memories of my stay in the country of your birth, some of you who were born there. And I know as I look around the room and I see so many young faces, I know that many of you born outside of the country, who are sons and daughters and grandchildren of those who know the history of your country. I'm so very pleased that you joined the old folks here tonight to learn more, because one of the things in my Caribbean communities, really, how do we get the young people to come out to functions where the old heads are? And it's important that we do this intergenerational get-together, where we celebrate together, where we honor people together, where we hold up role models and mentors, like the folks that we're holding up and awarding tonight and celebrating tonight. Because our young people must know of them and know of their achievement. There is an old saying, to be it, you must see it. To see it, you can be it. Nelson Mandela, the paraphrased words of his, he says Ethiopia has always had a very special place in his imagination, more so than visiting European places like France and England and others. He said it was He felt that he was visiting the roots of what had made him an African. That one had to go to Africa, go to Ethiopia, associate with Ethiopians to feel that sense of being an African. And I agree with him. And most of you will also agree that African roots are like the very drivers of qualities and characteristics in great achievers like those we are recognizing with the Bikiila Awards tonight.
I received this award, prestigious award, on behalf of the 17,000 employees of Ethiopian Airlines who are working day and night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to make their beloved airline successful. I would like to take this opportunity to express my love, respect, and appreciation to all my colleagues who made all Ethiopians, all Africans proud of this great airline.
Hi everyone. I'm here on behalf of a grateful family. You know, my father's being, his contribution is being recognized today. But most of all, and most importantly, it's being recognized by an organization that is named after our hero, Biqiila. So as you can imagine, it is a tremendous honor to accept the Shining Star of Ethiopia on behalf of my mother, Wizarora Helsina Georgis, my brothers Mulgeta, Johannes, and Mikael Katama. We thank the Bikiila Awards Committee and everyone for this award and for recognizing our father. Thank you so much, and congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you so much.
Why did I start this school? I didn't just decide that I was going to get up, leave New York, and bring a school to Ethiopia. I got to the point, you know, I came here as a refugee, as many of you in this room did, and I got to a point in my life where I wasn't tending to the bread and butter issues, and I felt like I was in a position to do something for Ethiopia. So I went back and I said, what can somebody living in diaspora productively do? What can I really contribute? And I spoke to as many people as I could, and I think this is sort of important because one of the things we talk about at the school is empathetic design. It wasn't just my idea. I spoke to people and it became very clear in business and diplomacy and scholarship that there was a mismatch between what the country needed in terms of jobs and thinking forward and what this country's schools were producing. So I thought, okay, I'm not an educator, but I think I understand this and I can put together a project, pull together the resources and try to bring this here because I understand the context of the kind of education that I've received in the US. What we're doing differently is really teaching kids to think for themselves, to put them at the center of education and not just to memorize for passing the test. And I think that really is critical because if Ethiopia is going to move forward, those are the kinds of skills that we need to give our students. So what we have now will be at some point 400 students in this co-ed environment, kids recruited from around the country, and as the video said, to the extent we can, admitted without regard to their financial circumstances. So that is our goal. And I just want to tell a couple of stories to say very quickly why I think it is that we're succeeding. And one is from 3 weeks after we started the school, one is from last year, and the last one is from just a week ago when I was there. Everybody comes in, every high-achieving kid comes in wanting to be an engineer or a doctor. And we talk a lot to the kids about, you know, find your own passion, your own interests, and look around in the world and see what you can do well yourselves. And I was incredibly happy. After about 6 weeks, I heard Yedidia, I can tell you her name, being interviewed, and they asked her, what would you like to do when you go forward? And she said, I don't know, but I think I'd like to go into agriculture. And she said, this country is 85% economy agriculture. And that was fantastic, right? Because understanding that agriculture isn't just plowing as we often do, as our neighbors do, with ox, but it really is a very high technology area that you can make a lot of contribution for your country. So if we can get our kids to think that way, I think that's hugely successful. በመጀመሪያ በሁሉ ቦታ የምሄደው በጭንቄ ሁሉ የምታማልደኝ በጣም የምወዳት እስከዚህ ያደረሰችኝ ለእመቤቴ ለቅድስት ድንግል ማርያም ክብር ምስጋና ለእሷ ይሁን። እንግዲህ ዛሬ የቢቂላ አዋርድ በማግኘቴ እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። ነገር ግን ይሄ ቢቂላ አዋርድ በላይ ያስደሰተኝ ከማን አጠገብ የቢቂላ አዋርድ እንደመሸለም ነው። ዛሬ ሁላችሁም የቢቂላ አዋርድ የምታገኙ እንደና አባባ ከተማ ይፍሩ፣ እንደና አባባ ግርማ ዋቄ ሁላችሁም እጅግ የሚያስደንቅ ስራ ነው የምትሰሩት። ለኢትዮጵያ እና ለኢትዮጵያኖች እና ለዓለም በሙሉ ተስፋ ናችሁ። ሁላችሁም የምትሰሩት ትልቅ ስራ ነው እና እኔ አዳም በትንሹ አቅሜ እናንተ ጎን ይሄ ቢቂላ አዋርድ በማግኘቴ እጅግ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። ትልቅ ክብር ተሰምቶኛል እና ስለዚህ የቢቂላ አዋርድ ኮሚቴ የፕሬዚደንት ጋሽ ተሰማ አመሰግናለሁ እና ጉዞዬ ሁሉ እስከዚህ ያደረሱኝ ቤተሰቦቼ በሙሉ አባቴ፣ እናቴ እና እህቴ ለሁላችሁም ያደረጋችሁልኝ ለዘላለም አመሰግናችኋለሁ። እና በመጨረሻ እንደምታውቁት አማርኛ የመጀመሪያ ቋንቋዬ አይደለም። ነገር ግን በእንግሊዝኛ መናገር ይሄ ሁሉ በቀላሉ እችል ነበር። ግን ምን ያህል በኢትዮጵያዊነቴ እንደምኮራ ለማሳየት ነው እንደዚህ በማለት እና በመጨረሻ በትዕግስት ሁላችሁም ስላዳመጣችሁኝ አመሰግናለሁ።
I don't think Adam needs any outro there. He's an absolutely amazing student, and that's what the Biqila Awards are all about, especially when it comes to the scholarship portion. But of course, education isn't just about helping children get to that stage. It's also about honoring and welcoming and actually awarding those who have achieved that excellent academic status.
ሰላም እንደምን አመሻችሁ። ከሁሉ በፊት እዚህ ስቴጅ ላይ እንደሆን ይሄን እድል የሰጠኝን እግዚአብሔርን አመሰግናለሁ። I hope ማለት የፈለኩት ገብቷችኋል። ግን I'll re-emphasize in English that I'm only here today by the grace of God. I am deeply grateful to Him for the guidance, people, and experiences that have shaped me into who I am now. I need to thank my family for being the support system I could not live without. To my parents, Araya and Tamar, words simply cannot amount to what you mean to me, but just know that you are the reason why I see no obstacle as too large, and that your strength supports my own in every way. When I sat in this very hall 4 years ago attending the 2019 Biqila Award, I did not picture myself getting any closer to the stage than when I won the raffle prize, but what I do remember is the profound impact that the awardees left on me. I eagerly lingered on to every word of their speeches and absorbed every second of their stories. And I think sometimes we don't realize the impact we can have on people, but to me, community is critical. We often hear the words role model, mentor, or example, but to me, they're more than just words. They're in fact forces. And so I say, let's keep on supporting one another and helping one another achieve our fullest potential in the name of Biqila Award. I thank you so much to the board of directors for having me here today for this honor.
The essence of it is that in 2016, there was one Black medical student at the University of Toronto. And we know that our children, our Black children, our Ethiopian children, where they go and what they do, it's not a matter of capacity. Everyone is born capable. It's a matter of access, resources, mentorship. right? These are things that are systemic. They're so much more than the abilities that someone is born with. And so the work that I do with the Black Medical Student Association that I did at Queen's University, the things that help our children succeed, that is that's what's close to my heart. And in addition to education, now moving into medicine, when we think about health outcomes and the disparities, I've actually worked with Lieben in the past as a pre-medical student. And those of us in this field understand that, again, it's systemic. When we think about access, we think about what doctors are in the room, what they're thinking of when they think of their patients, and what patients have in order to get the care that they need. And that looks like so many different things and conversations at so many different levels. But the essence of it is just thinking about where we come from, and, you know, as physicians now, like what we can do. So, I mean, again, it's hard to put it all together, but I'm proud to be Ethiopian. I'm proud to now be a physician that is so dedicated to serving the Black community, to serving the Ethiopian community, and that's what I hope to continue to do.
Captain Abeba Biqila is known for his courage and determination and to succeed, as demonstrated in his victory in the Olympic marathon in 1960 in Rome, Italy, which he did without his shoes. Myself, I'm a long-distance hiker and backpacker in the mountains of the East Coast of the United States, where I hike for several hundred miles a year, often weeks at a time. But however, I'm very much aware that I could not do it without a strong pair of hiking boots. So our world has really changed. Over the course of the last month alone, the world has been transformed. And this is what we must take note of. Not instantly, but in potential. And this emphatically includes changes for Ethiopia and for Africa. Africa and the global South are now moving in a new direction that we have not seen for several decades. The movements towards new economic policies of development echo the calls of a new, just world economic order that was promoted in the 1970s and 1980s by people such as Indira Gandhi and Fred Wills. So let me explain what I mean at this point. First, at the 15th summit of the BRICS from August 22nd to 24th, it was decided to add 6 additional nations to become members of the BRICS in January of 2024. Of special importance in this change is Africa, because 2 of the new BRIC members are now Egypt and Ethiopia. The second major event that's occurred recently occurred early this month on the eve of the new Ethiopian New Year. This is when the reservoir of the GERD, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, reached a level of 42.5 billion cubic meters of water. This is the 4th and essentially final filling, and there's been no deleterious effect on the conditions of the Nile as it heads down to downstream countries. This is a milestone for Ethiopia and for the Horn of Africa, and really for the entire African continent. Because everything we do as human beings is all about the future. The way we act in the here and the now is only to secure a better future. Ethiopia, with a population of 115 million people, and the African continent, with its population of 1.5 billion and expanding, can have a bright future employing all those potential creative minds and contributing to the betterment of society. Human beings, unlike all other animals, are uniquely capable about thinking about the future. Animals exist in the here and now. We too, as human beings, physically live in the here and now, but we are different because we act for the future. We act for something that does not yet exist, but what we intend willfully through our creative intervention to bring into existence. Qualified leaders think 1 to 2 generations into the future and have a vision of the nation in their mind's eye of what they intend. Mothers and fathers think about what actions they can take in their lifetime that will contribute to a better future for their children and their grandchildren. Competent economists and economic planners focus on investments in technological advancement today that will lead to increases in the productivity of the labor force tomorrow. It's all about the future, and it's all about the potential of human beings to create a better future. My analysis, as I just briefly exemplified by 2 things that have happened, the New BRICS Summit and the GERD, indicate to me that the world is entering a new epoch. We can create a new paradigm with new multipolar institutions committed to development. We now have a new potential future in front of us if we have the wisdom and the willpower to realize it.
Good evening. It's a great honor and privilege. This moment is a very humbling moment, and I stand in humility, as some of our awardees have said, before God. Not just as a cliche thing to say, but if it was not for him, I know I would have not be here to stand before you and share my joy with you. There are some friends at the back there, but I have more friends elsewhere that would not believe that I have reached this stage. It was not always like this from the very beginning. So I'm humbled before God, and I know that it is him that has helped me so far to get to this point. I'm also humbled because I'm among giants, big giants. To be included in a recognition such as Kuburato Katamaifru. We were young, but we were inspired at the time with people of such high, achieving. I'm also humbled because, as you saw in the video, I was part of Ethiopian Airlines at some point, so another big giant for us as Ethiopians. I also grew up as an Ethiopian Airlines family. I'm also very honored to be among Gash Sumrat. Yes, I know he is also an awardee of Biqila Awards, but those are the giants that have come before us, and so that makes me very humbled, and all the other awardees as well, and my good sister who's going to come after me. And of course, Honorable Jean Augustine, I also pay respect as our elder in the community, always been inspired as an organization for the work that you have done for the Black community in Canada, so thank you. It is also a moment of gratitude, so I would like to say thank you to the Biqila Awards Committee and the board. It's also a joy, I think, to get recognized for doing something that you like to do. I think it's a blessing too, so I'm also very thankful for that. I'm thankful for the organization I represent, our board, our staff. I know I have a couple of staff members here. But most importantly, I'm grateful for my daughters, Athena and Bethlehem, who are sitting at the back, and my grandson, Mishael. They are my inspiration. And they are, grounding me all the time. Finally, a mention of humility is also being recognized under the name of a great hero of Ethiopia, Abebe Biqila. We grew up singing Marathon, Marathon, Marathon Liltwa, አበበና ማሞ ሆነው ባለቤቷ. Do you remember this? Yeah? ሮም በባዶ እግሩ ቶኪዮ በጫማ ዝነኛው አበበ በሁለቱም ከተማ. So as a young person singing that and today to be recognized in his name, this is such a humbling moment for me and I'm very grateful.
When I was in 9th grade, I had hair. So COVID came and I lost my hair. In any case, really, I congratulate the Biqila Award. There's a saying, a Chinese saying, which I use a lot. It's better to light one candle than curse the darkness. So what a big light this is. What I have done in comparison is really a small candle. So I chose to do that. Most of the achievements and accomplishments were really small, but had big impacts. So it's not how small you start, but what an impact it would have. From a play I wrote when I was 13 and was shown at the Hagar Fikr Theater and was part of the Ethiopian Dims newspaper, developing the first Amharic software in the early 1980s. Coincidentally, I'm a hardware engineer, so since I'm a writer, I wanted to express myself, so I couldn't find anything, so I developed the first Amharic word processor. And also, most recently, as you may have heard, developing was an Israeli company called Orcam, an artificial intelligence, glasses for the blind, visually challenged to see and read Amharic text and books, and it's become... So all this organization, Biqila Award, is about the future. It's about the new generation. What do we leave? What is the legacy? That's really very important. That's why I'm really touched how we can move to the next generation. So small accomplishments here and there. So I have a family foundation in Ethiopia. We are awarding contestants who develop Ethiopic applications or software in our own language, Ethiopic. By the way, I saw lots of people with similar ties like mine. This is our Fidel. It's part of the Unicode. If you go to Ethiopic Unicode, it's every computer, every mobile device now comes with Ethiopic built in. You don't have to download anything.
I'm deeply honored and humbled to stand before you as the president of People to People Canada, fondly known as P2P to the Canadians here, to accept this prestigious Community Service Excellence Award on behalf of our entire organization. This recognition isn't just about acknowledging our efforts. It's celebration of our values and mission that inspire us. Our slogan, as you heard, together we are making a difference. I'm going to repeat that. Together we are making a difference, and we saw that tonight. And it's just not words. It's a commitment to a brighter future. And just like the Abebe Biqila, the great Abebe Biqila, who inspired us all, we believe in determination, dedication, and unwavering spirit to make a difference. As we stand here today receiving this award, we continue to draw inspiration from the remarkable Abebe Biqila, whose legacy embodies values of determination, dedication, and resilience. Just as he faced numerous obstacles and yet led Ethiopia to victory with a shining legacy, we too at P2P are determined to make a lasting impact for our community. In closing, I wish to emphasize the importance of supporting grassroots organizations. You've heard about all these amazing organizations. P2P was a grassroots 24 years ago. We started just with 22 kids. And today we have helped thousands of kids. And most importantly, I want to make sure that you're also focused in helping newer initiatives like Go, for instance. There's an organization that's being started within our community here who is focused on helping elderly families, and autistic children. Cambridge, Lieben just mentioned it, focus on breaking the stigma around mental health and promoting mental health education, among many other grassroots organizations. These organizations like P2P form the backbone of our community, tirelessly working to make a positive impact. So I invite you all to get involved with us and let us together continue to make a difference. And again, on behalf of P2P, thank you to the Biqila Award for this recognition and honor. Good evening, everyone.
Jomo Tariku. Jomo Tariku is an accomplished Ethiopian American artist, industrial designer, known for his multidisciplinary work in art, design, data, and humanitarian volunteerism. Born in Nairobi, Kenya, Jomo's upbringing in Addis Ababa and his immigration to the US in 1987 shaped his creative journey. His unique modern African furniture design, born from his undergraduate thesis at the University of Kansas in 1993, garnered international attention and led to his establishment of Jomo Design in 2000. Jomo's work was featured in major design publications, including Elle Decor and Architectural Digest. Notably, Jomo's design played a role in the set design for the Marvel's Black Panther and other upcoming movies. He co-founded the Black Artists and Designers Guild, advocating for the recognition of Black designers, and his data research on licensed Black furniture designers catalyze industry change. Jomo is praised by influential figures like Oprah and Vetra Designs Museum's Susan Garner for his contributions.
This event is a noble cause that will leave an everlasting legacy, so I feel very honored and humbled by the nomination and the award. First, I would like to thank God for blessing me with a gift of creativity and a persistence, as that is the reason I'm standing here in front of you. During my 30 years design journey, my constant support has been my dear wife, Birole Devela, and my two sons, Isak and Yaakov Tariku, who have been my backbone, making sure I'm grounded. You know, we artists are a little bit egotistical, so we need a check. Both my parents, Colonel Tariku Nagato and Gede Ezra, played a huge role as well in making me who I am by both building the character needed to stay in the game for such a long time and raising me in a home with objects and furniture from all over the world, sparking my curiosity. They also gifted me with a younger brother who joked, "How's that expensive hobby of yours?" But nevertheless invested in my dreams not once, not twice, but 3 times. All this support from my own family, though, wouldn't have amounted for much if my work was not built on many unnamed creatives from Ethiopia, as well as across from Africa, as you've seen on the screen. That has come before me. So when I accept this award, it is also on their behalf, as I would have been an empty vessel without seeing and admiring a shamma, a berchuma, a jimma chair, a Mido Afrocom, a tribal headrest, a Zulu or Dorze hat, and a shanty stool, a bronze head from Ife, earth-hewn churches from Lalibela, mud mosque from Jena, and many more inspirational designs from the continent of Africa, including its landscape and fauna. I built my career on this simple philosophy to venerate the past in new works, and it was initiated as part of my college industrial design thesis project between 92 and 93. So I want to advise our youth to look into using similar methods by deep diving into your own cultural heritage as one way to create new works.
It's with great pleasure that I welcome to this stage Dr. Buhanu Bulcha, the 2023 Biqila Professional Excellence Award winner.
እንደምናመሻችሁ ቴንክ ዩ ሁላችሁም እዚህ ስለተገናኘን ቢቂላ አዋርድ
committee, thank you for nominating me for this, recognizing the people in our community for the work we do. We thank you that you found what we do is valuable to share to others. I don't know where to begin. The work that we do is based on, I think someone, a speaker earlier kind of hit the dot, imagination. It's all about imagination. Think of about universe and someone here from Earth doing something, trying to study. It could be a gas, it could be a galaxy filled with unknowns. You stay at home here on Earth trying to understand what's happening. It's all about imagination. Between your pen and paper, with your friends and colleagues, you debate, you discuss, you study, and you come up with an idea. So that is imagination. So with the imagination, I wanted to share with you where human being actually, in the US, the cutting edge technologies, in the US, Europeans and Asian countries, where they're going. In the next 5 to 10 years, we are going back to the moon. Humans will be landing, will have actually a home on the moon. What do we need to survive as a human being? Water, for sure. So my study and my research along my team, what we're trying to do is trying to find water, not only finding, but also quantifying how much water exists. And also, we wanted to see how we can harbor the amount of water we can collect from the moon surface, and so that we can provide for the people who will be going on the moon for the next 5 to 10 years. Perhaps 10 years and maybe somewhere between 10 to 20 years, definitely going back to the Mars. Well, there's no going back, but we wanted to go back. But I'm sure some of you may think, what is there to do in Mars, right? It's really harsh condition. The ground is really weathered. It's literally brown. The sun radiation is literally bombarding it every day, every second. So how can we survive? And I wanted to show you what human imagination, what we, the scientists, our colleagues at NASA Goddard Space Flight Center, what they're thinking. They wanted to put an umbrella between the sun and the Mars so that they can put a shadow and rehabilitate Mars for human survival. Imagine having a large umbrella to cover Mars. Imagine. That is what the scientists are thinking. So now I want to take you back to the Earth. This is my passion. Knowledge will take you far. You study hard, solve a problem, addressing the challenge of your community. Now, as I'm thinking about the space, as I'm thinking about the universe, I also think about my friends, my family in Ethiopia. So me and my beloved wife, we have an organization called Brighter Generation, Bru Tulet. We wanted to educate students in Ethiopia. So just today, we just graduated 750 students. 750 students across Ethiopia in 30 centers. You name it, most cities in Ethiopia, we have a center. In collaboration with many diaspora professionals all over the world, we give them a platform. We don't want them to move to Ethiopia because they have responsibility, they settle their life in whatever they are, right? So we created a platform. It's a virtual system. Whatever they are, they can, at the comfort of their home, they can teach students in Ethiopia every location. So this is a dream come true. I know all of you want to give back, but you don't know how. Now we can show you how you can be impactful, passing your knowledge to the next generation of Ethiopians through virtual connections. So we have partnership with Ethio Telecom. You've seen that in the video where we signed the agreement.
In addition to that, we have so many agreements between different universities in Ethiopia. Like I said, about 30 centers. This is on our second year, but next year, with the help of a bunch of people, including Ethiopian Airlines, perhaps we can double, triple, and impact thousands of people and the next generation of Ethiopians to become innovative, to become a solver of their own problem with their own knowledge that we pass. Thank you so much.
We are just about done with our event this evening. We want to do one quick video before we let you go.
ክላሽ ሳይኖረው ማርኮ ያለ ደብተር ተማሪ ብዕር ሳይኖረው ነድፎ ያለ ሜትር መታሪ ያለ ጫማ ጀግና ሯጭ የዘመኑ አበባችን ማን ይሆን ፋና ወጊ የዛሬ ቢቂላችን ቢቂላ አዋርድ
The Lion Heart
የትላንት የድል ታሪካችንን ከመዘከር አልፈን የዛሬ ጀግኖቻችንንም ዕውቅና መስጠት ትውልድን አነቃቂ ትልቅ ማህበራዊ ፋይዳ አለው ብሎ ያምናል። ቢቂላ አዋርድ በትምህርት፣ በሙያ፣ በንግድ፣ በበጎ አድራጎትና በመሳሰሉት ልዩ ስኬት ያስመዘገቡ ኢትዮጵያውያንን የምናከብርበትና የምናስከብርበት ኢትዮጵያዊ መድረካችን ነው። የጣሊያን ሰራዊት በጥያራና በመድፍ ታጅቦ ኢትዮጵያን በወረደ በ20 ዓመቱ አበበ ቢቂላ በሮማ አደባባይ በባዶ እግር ድል የነሳበትን አስደማሚ ስኬት ስናስብ በኩራት የሚታወሰን ገጠመኝ ብቻ ሳይሆን የዛሬ ትውልድም በተሰለፈበት መስመር በሙሉ መልከ ብዙ ፈተናዎች ቢያጋጥሙትም በስኬት ተሻግሮ የሚደግመው ታሪክ ነው ብለን እናምናለን። አዎ ዛሬም ታሪክ ይሰራል፣ ዛሬም ስኬት ይደገማል። ከጨለመ ከባቢ የንጋት ጮራን ማልዶ ከማይቻል ሁናቴ መቻልን አስወልዶ ሰቅዞ ከያዘን ከረንቋችን ማምለጫ የስኬት ምንጭ ምን ይሆን ከፈተናችን መውጫ? ዝግጅት፣ ቁርጠኝነት፣ ተነሳሽነት፣ ብቃት። ቢቂላ አዋርድ የስኬት ተምሳሌቶችን በማወደስ የስኬታቸውን ቁልፍ ለትውልድ እንዲያቀብሉ የምናበረታታበት መድረክ ነው። ቢቂላ አዋርድ
We thank you all for being part of the 2023 Bikila Award. We also are very grateful for Eden for hosting 2023 Bikila Award. Thank you very much.